Right, hi everyone. I'm just going to see if I can find you on the iPad, or find me on the iPad, should I say. Just reload it. Oh, there we go. Right, hello. Let me turn it the other way up actually, and then I should be able to read your comments. Right, hello. I hope a few of you can join me today. I think we've already got four watchers, which is brilliant. I'm a little bit late. Well, only by about a minute. I think I just went to tap the live button and realised that I was using 4G and not the Wi-Fi. So I had to quickly reconnect it. So it's a good job I did check. But yeah, hi Sandra. Hi Diane. Hi Trisha. It's nice of you to join. I'll just wait for a few more of you, but as you can see, I've got this image in front of me at the moment. So this is what I'm going to be working on today. I think I did briefly show this during, was it Friday's live? I think it might have been Friday's, because I was going to demo this one, but decided to go with a froggy demo. But yeah, it's just a real quick and simple card from me today. I think sometimes we go, you know, we tend to sort of be very extravagant, don't we, and sit and spend ages making a card. And sometimes it's nice just to do a really simple, basic card that doesn't really take too long, doesn't involve using too many products either. But it's so easy to get carried away. I don't know if you know what I mean. Sometimes I sit down to do it and think, yeah, I'll just do a quick one with this, and you end up with about 10 different stamps out, and yeah, you're just kind of stamping away and just adding more and more bits. It's hard to know when to stop sometimes, isn't it? Hi Chris, I love this card. Oh, thank you very much. The movement in the stencil works beautifully. Yes, I don't know, I think it just goes with so many things. You know, you can do quite sort of psychedelic cards with it, I think, you know, really retro sort of colours. And then, yeah, for things like, you know, water, sky even, I think it's great. And just a bit of, to add a bit of a subtle touch. I love it. It's now like my favourite stencil. I know I shouldn't say that because I designed it, but it is. Oh, hi Anne. And I think Mum's there watching as well. Right, so I'm just going to have a sip of drink. I don't know what it is. As soon as I get on a live, I need a drink. Yeah, hi Mum, she is watching. Right, so for this, I've cut this down slightly smaller. This is going to fit on a 6x6 card blank, but I've cut out, look, I'm actually using a blue mount. And I hardly ever use coloured card as a mount, but I'm trying to use the coloured card up because I've just got a massive rack behind me and I never use it. So yeah, I've gone for quite a nice blue today, which goes quite well with the Kingfisher. But yeah, so I've cut this slightly smaller. I'm not sure where my I suppose I could use this one. So this is measuring up at about just over 12.5 centimetres square. So yeah, I've cut it. Normally I sort of make them a little bit larger, sort of just a bit smaller than the 6x6, but today I've gone quite a bit smaller. Yes, I adore this stencil too, definitely the favourite. It is like, sorry, I'm just trying to read the comments. I think I read that one, didn't I? Oh no, it's like a rippling water effect in the instance of the bird. Yes, it certainly is. Hi Maggie. Hi Annette. We've got a few of you watching today. Right, so yeah, I said that's just over 12.5 centimetres square. Hopefully I've cut this blanket about the same size. Yes, I have. Right, and then where's my stamp? Right, so I'm using the lovely Kingfisher, which is CI 510. I think It is a really gorgeous stamp, this. I think it's always a real surprise when you start sort of stamp this out, because it just stamps so beautifully. Bonjour everyone from a cold wet Brittany. Oh, hello Anne. It's actually really nice here. I might need to close the blinds very soon. We've got the sun out today and it's actually quite warm. I have got my scarf on though, because my neck is a little bit chilly. I'm someone that feels the cold really bad. But yeah, it is actually surprisingly warm today. 17 watchers showing on my screen. Yes, quite a few. That's brilliant. It's nice to have so many of you here. Hi Sue. So I'm just inking this up with the VersaFine Claire, and I'm just going to stamp this in the corner over here. I think I'll go about there. So I'm just making sure that the bottom of the stamp lines up with the bottom of the card. It's not a big deal if it doesn't, because you can just sort of draw the lines in if you need to. Just using my Baron tool here. There we go. And I know what I didn't get out is some paper, so let me just grab some paper from behind. Sorry, I normally have some paper at hand on my desk, and I must have moved it with the pile of papers just before the live. So I'm just using some clear embossing powder now. It's an overcast day here near the NEC in Birmingham Airport. Oh dear, it's awful here in Bolton and not stopped raining all day. Oh goodness. Hi Sarah. It's wet and dull here in Bournemouth, but quite warmish. Okay, rub it in. We'll all have a heat wave and you have some snow. Yeah, you know, we have had some awful weather. Certainly yesterday, it was really cold yesterday. Hello, Little Froggy just arrived. Thank you. Oh, that's brilliant. That arrived nice and quick. I think I only posted that off to you yesterday morning. Claire Bradshaw was the winner of the frog stamp from Friday's live. Just checking to see if that's embossed, which I think I've probably over embossed it. Right, let's colour this in. So of course I'm going with Pro markers here. I've only just seen a real Kingfisher once in my lifetime. So amazing, it was so shimmery. Oh wow, I still haven't seen one. I have the large tub of embossing powder. It's the finest I've come across. Yeah, it's really good, the big tub. I'm a bit of a clumsy person, so for me, using the small tubs, I tend to knock them over quite a bit. So I always tend to go for the, you know, the larger tubs. Right, so I'm just adding some darker blue. This is the petrol blue. Yes, the Kingfisher has made a lovely impression. My dad's house is on the river, so see them daily. Oh, how lucky. Yeah, I've never actually seen one. We've done quite a lot of trips on the Broads. I think you tend to get them around there quite a bit, but I've never been lucky enough to see one. I think the last time we done a boat trip, they did announce on the tannoy that there was one, but I couldn't see it. Right, I'm now going in with the lighter blue. Oh, not the thick end. Let's go with the thinner end. As you know, I tend to sort of try and use more than one colour if I can for colouring in, rather than have just one solid tone. Petrol Blue Pro Marker, yeah, it's such a lovely colour. It's perfect for the Kingfisher. This is, what did I say, cyan. Oh, I've missed a little bit, haven't I? I'm using my my other drawing as a reference. What colour are you using, Dina? Yeah, so that was Petrol Blue, and this one is cyan. I tend to always, whenever sort of I'm testing colours out, just have a piece of scrap. You can see here I just grabbed some scrap out beforehand just to test the colours, you know, just to see what two colours kind of go together. But yeah, I do like this colour, but it's not actually one that I use very often. It is quite a dark blue. I guess it's quite nice for, you know, if you're colouring in this, but yeah, it doesn't make an appearance very often. Hi Nikki. In Egypt they have a pied kingfisher, much larger, very noisy and so funny with their antics. Ooh. I'll have to look that up and see what it looks like. I've not heard of one of them. Right, so for the oranges, I'm going for just a standard orange. Right, I'm just going to shut the blinds because, as you can see, the sun is now actually beaming in. Where's that bit gone? There we go. Still got one bit of light beaming through. I don't know where that's coming from. It's probably going to annoy me. Yeah, so I'm going for standard orange and amber. And I'm just going to add a few sort of darker areas and then go in with the lighter pen. That bit's white there, isn't it? So quite a nice easy stamp to colour in as well, isn't it? It doesn't take very long. Oh, hello Sid, nice of you to join. So, and then I said I'm going in with the amber, just colour his tummy in. Right, and then for his beak and claws, I'm going for a Cool Grey 4. Now I am only going to do one colour on his beak, and I'll probably add some sort of white highlights at the end. Right, now I forgot to get my brown pens out, so I'm just going to hunt for them. And actually I need a red as well, don't I, for the little berries. Right, so for the wood, again, these are my sort of most used browns for sort of colouring, you know, wood, you know, wood grain and, well, most things, to be honest. So this is cocoa and sandstone. I recently had to replace my sandstone, but I think my last one I had for quite a few years. So I'm not colouring the whole thing in brown, I'm just, or staying around the edge like what I normally do. I'm just adding some sort of streaks through the bark. Let's do this branch here as well. And then I'm going to colour it in and blend it in a little with the sandstone. Probably use the thicker end, as it is, it's quite a nice large area. just going to carefully go in and colour that little bit of branch. Oh look, I've obviously got some ink or something on my fingers. Hopefully that'll be covered up when I start doing some stenciling. Right, and I'm going to colour the berries in with berry red. I love watching people colour in, it's so relaxing. Lovely colouring, thank you. I don't know, I think I always, whoops, I've just realised I've missed colouring in the rest of his eye, haven't I? I always worry that I think when, you know, when you're colouring in, you get a little bit lost, and I always worry about boring people. Right, now I'm actually going to do the stenciling, I think, first before I go in and start with the other stamping. So I'm just going to grab my brush. Now I think I'm going to grab my scrap paper because I'm not quite sure what colours I've got going on there. Just going to get rid of some of the ink on that. And then, what colour do we want? You know what, just lately I've been using some sort of quite random colours for the sky. I might go in with some broken china. So I probably should have done this first before colouring in. I'm not gonna, you've obviously realised I'm not masking the Kingfisher off here. I'm just going round the edges just very, very faintly. Whoops, that's not faint at all, is it? We'll go for a dark bit round this bottom edge, which actually doesn't matter because it can sort of fade off into the centre. So yeah, I'm just trying to do it round the stencil. Sorry, not round the stencil. Around the Kingfisher without going over it too much. I've just moved the stencil there. Just darken that area up just under his wing. Actually looks so faint, it's almost as if I haven't done anything. Right, I'm going to turn it round just so it's easier for me to hold. See if I can line that up again. I probably should have taped it down. I never tape stencils down. Don't know why. So yeah, I'm just going very, very faintly into the centre. That's fine. Just lifting it up just to check to see how dark I have done it. Right, and now I'm going to move the stencil over a little. Probably about there. And just kind of carry on. Ooh. I'm just dabbing some of the ink off because I only want it sort of faint. Actually up here I could go a little bit darker, couldn't I? Just going to darken this area up a little bit just so it kind of ties in a bit more. I did want to go darker up here, but I think where I've done it quite light here, it doesn't flow very well. Oh, that's a bit better. Right, I'm actually going to take my jumper off for a minute because it's getting quite warm in here. I think at this time of the day when the sun is out, it does warm up in here, which is lovely. Right. I'm now going to do this stamping on the corner here, and do some flowers in the bottom left. I always tend to work, you know, if you're try and always even things up. So if you do something in one corner, try and I can't think what it's called. You know, I always try and work in opposites, just so it's kind of more pleasing, isn't it, on the eye. Where did I put my stamps? Oh, they're over here. Right, so I'm using CI 493 here. Let's pop that stencil to, stamp to the side rather. Balance, that's the word. Thank you, Mum. I don't know what it is, when you're on a live, you tend to forget the words more. No idea why. Should really do it the other way, shouldn't I? Cohesive design. Yeah, I think the word that I was looking for was balance. I think if you work in opposite corners and stuff, you know, you can balance it out a lot better. So I'm not stamping, you know, the whole thing here. I'm just coming in a little bit from the edge, and I'm not too worried if it stamps over the Kingfisher. And I'll just do a few more just here. There you go. Right, okay, where's my spray thing gone? I had it a little while ago because I was cleaning my desk with it. Goodness. I might have actually left that in the kitchen because I think I topped it back up, so I'll just have to make do at the moment without. It's rather annoying. Right, put that back in there. So I'm now going to grab these branches from CI 583. These are really handy little branches when you're doing, you know, when you're creating seams. I will come back and try and emboss that in just a minute. I'm just trying to work fairly quickly here. So I don't know if I moved that then. I think I've got away with it. That's handy. So I'm just going to go in and just bring a few extra branches in down here. And up the top here as well. And just sort of fade it out a little. There you go. Right, grab my piece of paper and see if I can now emboss that. Hopefully I haven't left that too long. No, that's okay. Just about got away with it. Right, I'm now going to emboss this area too. Actually, I'll do this side first. Just realised I'm working off the screen a little bit there, sorry. I have good judgment with rubber stamps. We all get used to clear and seeing where placement is. Do you know what I think when I first joined the design team, I suppose I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit sort of worried with stamping some things, especially during the lives, when I first started doing them. But actually you sort of get used to them, and I think there's little hints and tips with certain things. Yeah, I think you do just get used to it. Now, I actually prefer the rubber. I think it's such better quality. They are such better quality stamps anyway. It's really annoying me that I don't have my spray bottle here. Yeah, I think they're such great quality stamps, and I think there's so much more, you know, you can do with them. I mean, I've used them in jewellery making as well. And yeah, you know, they are just great quality. But yeah, I think the more you use them, the more you sort of get used to it. And I said with sort of lining even sentiments and things up, you know, like I don't think I've got any out to show you. I have done them on lives before. Like I'll put little marks on the back underneath where the sentiment line is. And I will perhaps do another live soon, sort of explaining that a bit more. And things like the tile stamp. Jean does a fabulous tile stamp. Again, I've not got it out. I recently put it away. But yeah, you know, there's different ways that you can sort of do little draw little lines and everything on the back. But yeah, I think I do actually prefer red rubber stamps now. And funny enough, when I do go over to using clear stamps, sometimes I sort of struggle with them a little bit. I don't know why. But yeah, I love the rubber. UT and wax work so well with rubber. Yes, they certainly do. Useless bit of info. Collected noun for Kingfisher are a rattle of kingfishers, a crown of kingfishers. Goodness, there's quite a lot there. That's useful. I'll perhaps read back on that a little later. Right. Now I'm going to grab 207 and grab the little dragonflies, because I think you've got to have a dragonfly on a Kingfisher card, right? Fluttering about in the distance. It's a must-have. Now, I'm not actually sure where my little block has gone. I think maybe I'm going to have to use the thicker one. Don't know where I've put my nice thin little one. It's done a bit of a walk. I've probably scooped it up when I moved all the papers off my desk just before the live, so I'll have to find that shortly. Right, so I think maybe I'll stamp one about there. Trick is as well with lining the rubber, red rubber stamps up. Oh, I've got ink now all over me. You know, try and cut the image out as close, try and cut as much red rubber off as you can. That really helps, certainly with certain designs. So yeah, I mean, in theory, you could chop quite a lot of this off here. It just that also helps with lining them up. Definitely need a dragonfly. Yeah, it's just a must, isn't it? I think with a Kingfisher. Do you know what? I might actually grab a fern and just stamp another fern down here. It's sort, to me, it's crying out for something else. See, this is the whole thing of where do you stop? There we go. It needed something in that little space there. I might actually, just to tie it in a bit more, I might just go over that. There we go. Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying right at the start of the live, wasn't it? You know, we go a bit mad with cards and never know where to stop. This is me not knowing where to stop. Keep adding more and more little bits. Beautiful make, so refreshing. Oh, thank you, Diane. Right, let's just emboss these ferns as well. As you know, most of the time I like to emboss everything. It just gives it, you know, I think it just just really makes everything pop out a little bit more. Occasionally I tend not to, you know, I'll use the Memento. Is it Memento? No, I'm not sure it is now. Which one? Yeah, it is Memento, isn't it? Occasionally I'll do that if I'm sort of in a hurry and I'm wanting to use pro markers and can't be bothered to emboss. But I always regret it afterwards. I think everything just looks so much better embossed. Just emboss these ferns now. Oh, love the little fern added. Need to get stamping. Yes, you definitely do. You want to see some more of your mates, Sue? Right, I think I'll leave it at that. Now what I'm going to do, just wipe some of that ink off as much as I can. It's not a less is more person, more is more, yes. Yeah, it's just so hard, isn't it? Just get a bit carried away and just keep going. Right, so I'm adding some broken china onto my messy mat here. And where's my little water pot? So I've got my fan brush. I really should start using my new one. I have got a really nice new, look, I've got a lovely new brush, which I pulled out here. But I always get it out and then just sit there wanting to stroke it because it's too nice to use. So yeah, the old one always wins. Yeah, the ferns links everything together beautifully. Yeah, I think it sort of needed it really. Right, I'm going to add quite a bit of water to that. I would normally give that a bit of a spritz. Right, I'm now just going to flick it. I'm going to try and, actually, I could use that little bit of scrap card. I don't really want the flicks going on the white of the Kingfisher, so I'm just covering that up. I'll pick some more ink up. So I'm just splattering it with, I'm working it off camera again, aren't I? Let me move that. So I'm just flicking it with my finger. And you can add as many little flicky specks as you like, or as few, it's up to you. I think this brush as well, it's quite good. I know a lot of people sort of tap their brushes and things, but with this one, because it's quite a skinny one, you only need to tap it a little bit and it works quite effective. I think I'll just do a few down the bottom there, just to tie it in. Right, I think I'm going to stop there. I can't flick. The small splatters land all over the place and the card ends up like a huge splodge. Right, if it does that, Anne, let me just grab, I'll pop that to the side for a minute. So perhaps it could be that your brush is maybe a little bit too wet. So if I were you, I mean, just tap your brush off. You can't see actually, I've moved let me move it in. I'm just waiting for it to catch up, that's it, so I can see if I'm actually on screen. So I've just dipped my brush in, tap as much water as you can off and go in. Right, and then just flick it on your mat if you're worried about having too many. So I've just done a quick tap. Sorry, you couldn't see me tapping it there off because I was slightly off screen. But I've just tapped it onto the messy mat slightly, and then you could go in and do it. Rather than sort of getting your brush and then just go in, otherwise they do end up everywhere. But I guess it kind of depends what sort of look you want. But I always tap the brush off in the pot first, and then go in with some. And if you're worried, just tap it here onto your messy mat, and then onto your paper. I think you've just got to, you know, just get some scrap paper and just play. But yeah, I think sometimes I have done it and I've got a little bit carried away, and some of my splodges have been a little bit too big, I'm not going to lie. But this is the one that I've just done, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm just drying them splodges off. But yeah, I think, as I said, just play. Just grab some scrap paper and should be dry. Right, I am going to add a couple of other bits, but I think I might do that on the card afterwards, after I've stuck everything down. Right, so I have got a blue mount here, which as I said, I don't often use coloured mounts. I'm really bad at just sticking with black, or even trying to avoid mounting it at all. But yeah, I am trying to pull out the coloured card a little bit more. So hopefully you'll see more coloured card being used in my makes. I'll probably say that, and you know what it's like. You're doing things quickly and then just don't bother. So I'm just sticking this down. Just holding it up so I can see it properly. Right, and then stick that onto my 6x6 card blank. Ooh, nice big bit of string there. I'm just going to hold that up again and just make sure that that's straight. Right, what I didn't do is add his little markings. So I'm just going to add some very quick streaks with a Sakura. I think they've got some like white spots, I think, haven't they, on their head? I'm not too sure now. I'm just going to add some anyway. Want a couple more highlights on his wings. Some there. So you don't have to go mad with the white pen, but I think add in the white, a bit too much there. Adding a little bit of white sort of really finishes it off. And just a little bit on his beak. Right, now I'm just going to add some stickles onto the dragonfly wings. I rather like using a little bit of glitter on the dragonflies. I often forget, but I did pull it out just before the live, so I think this one is icicle. I'll just check in just a moment. I think it's one that I used on one of the other lives. Oh no, it's crystal, not icicle. And actually I'm going to try, I don't know, I haven't got much of this left. Hopefully I've got enough, and hopefully I can unclog it quick enough. Just use a pin to see if I can unclog it. I've got such a small amount of this left. I'm just giving it a bit of a shake. And adding a little bit of stickles to his eye. I'm just getting air at the moment. I really must grab some more of this from the shop. So I might just stick some on the berries as well. Right, there we go. Obviously his eye is probably going to look a little bit murky now on the screen, but it will, you know, it will dry clear, obviously. Right, so there's the finished card, which is quite basic. Well, it's probably basic one for me for the lives. I haven't done sort of a real simple one for some time, have I? Thanks for the tip, we'll try it. If you do the stencil first, do you leave a space for the Kingfisher? No, so what I would do, if I done it, what I would do is stamp the Kingfisher first. If you're worried about getting ink on it, what you can do is mask it with some masking fluid. Now I have used this in some of my other lives. I can do another live on it at some point, I don't know when, but yeah, if I was to do it without masking it, so I'd stamp the Kingfisher first, don't colour it in, and then just use the stencil. I'm certain I'd done that on another live last week with the frog. Might have been on, what one would it have been? I can't think. Might have been on Tuesday's live. So if you check out Tuesday's live on the CI Facebook page, I've got the card here, I think. I'm pretty sure it was this one that I done live on Tuesday, wasn't it? So with this one, again, I stamped the frog and the toadstool, and I didn't bother masking this off. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I just went straight in and done the inked up the background, and again with the stencil, and then I coloured it in. As long as you're careful and don't go too much over, and you're not going too dark over the image, you can just about get away with it. Obviously, that's as long as, you know, as I said, you're not going too dark. But yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter what way round you do it, with the whether you colour it before or after. But generally, I tend to do the, if I'm not going to mask it, I'd do the stenciling first. I don't really know why I've done it this way round today. That blue mount looks really good. Thank you, looks fab. Shimmer or glitter is a must-have. Yep, I think it is on some things. I should really add some shimmer. You can, there is some stuff that you can use. Don't think I've got it at hand. Oh, is that it? That might be it. This would actually be really good to put over the Kingfisher. I don't know if anybody's used this before. It's like, no, that's not it. Sorry, that's the gilding flakes. It's in exactly the same pot as that. I can't think what it's called though. People use it for watercolour. No, I haven't got it here. Sorry, I really thought that was it. It is made by PBO, and it's in exactly the same pot. And it gives like a really lovely shimmer. I wish I could remember where it is. And you just kind of paint it on. I'm just checking to see if it's in these drawers. No, I have no idea where it is. I actually haven't seen it since I moved house. So that's going to bug me. So I'm now going to have to find it. But yeah, you paint it on a bit like a watercolour. I'll have to use it. Iridescent medium, that's the one for watercolour. I said they do one. It's in exactly the same bottle as this. And I'm pretty sure it is PBO. But that would look lovely, kind of painted on there. That is really going to annoy me now. I am going to have to finish the live and go and hunt that thing out. Hopefully I'll find it. Oh, nearly lost your comments. Lovely card. Make your own wink of Stella for a fraction of the price. Yeah, it's great. Iridescent medium it's called. Yeah, it's worth having in your stash. I will try and find it, and I will try and use it on one of the other lives, because it's a great product to have. But yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. I'm sure I'll be back again soon with another live of some sort. And I said I'll try and use some of those other products that I said. W&N also make it. If you put it in a brush pen with water, it's so easy to use and lasts ages. Yeah, that's quite a good idea. I guess you could do the same with that as well. Pop that in a water brush. I'm not a huge fan of water brushes myself, but yeah, it's certainly an idea for some people. Lovely card and demo, thank you. All right, thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you all have a lovely evening and enjoy the rest of your week. Right, take care everyone. Bye.